Hi, welcome to my channel, Tailored Tips. On my channel, I'll share with you tips from my life experiences, including experiences like graduating from Harvard Business School at the age of 26, triple majoring at Brown University, working on Wall Street, working for Citibank in countries like India, Mexico, Russia, Singapore, and finally as a vice president of risk analysis for Citibank Indonesia at the age of 28, leaving Citibank to join an internet startup as the chief financial officer, CFO, spending a lot of time in Africa, and I'll touch on that a little bit later, and then coming back to the US in 2016 to work for Google for 5.5 years, and finally now working for Facebook Meta as a director. My channel is organized around a series of playlists on themes from my life journey. The first 3 playlists that I've already launched in my channel focus on 3 things. 1, building wealth. 2, taxes, or specifically reducing taxes. And 3, parenting. So the wealth building playlist focuses on lessons that my family and I are learning on our journey to building intergenerational wealth. The tax playlist will offer a series of tailored tax tips to help reduce taxes, which are the biggest expense that most of us have. And if you are a professional who lives in the US and you're highly paid, depending on what state you live in, you might be paying between 40 to 50+% of what you earn in taxes. And I want to help share with you tax tips and strategies to help reduce that tax bill. Why am I so motivated to do this? Well, between 2016 and 2021, I paid $1,854,169 in taxes. And after going through this experience, I realized that I had to learn how to manage my tax affairs better. So I want to share with you the lessons that I've learned. In fact, in 2021, my tax bill required me, or my tax return required me to pay an additional $90,000 in addition to the 200,000+ that I had already paid in taxes. And I had to pay it, and I paid it. So by investing time, money, and lots of resources in learning a SHI ton about taxes, you can finish the spelling with a T, I now have a very clear and deep understanding of taxes and how to manage tax affairs. So I was able to reverse and turn around my tax affairs by over 100,000, where I shared with you I owed over 90,000 for my 2021 taxes, but in 2022, I'm getting a tax refund. For my 2022 taxes, I'll be getting a tax refund. So I want to share those tips with you. The third tip is looking at parenting. The third tip is looking at parenting. So my battery just showed it was low. And parenting, specifically tips from the stories and experiences of raising kids who are well-adjusted, who are amazing kids, who know that they're loved and valued, and they love and value their parents. At least I believe so. And so those would be the first 3 playlists. I will soon be launching additional playlists focusing on things like facilitation, which is my area of expertise and my job for the past 20+ years. Tips on health, sharing with you my story of going from being pre-diabetic to being able to reverse that. And also because in the health arena, I've actually had a bit of a wake-up call when I applied for life insurance as part of the wealth building journey that we're on, and I was denied life insurance. So I went to my doctor and I asked her, Doc, like, am I dying? Like, why are they denying my life insurance? So that really forced me to look at what my health was and why it was so poor that I would be rejected for life insurance. So I'll share tips around that. And then in addition to it, there's a tip around losing your beer belly, because I had picked up a beer belly, and this was shocking to me because all my life, as long as I can remember, I've been athletic. So anyway, I'll share those tips with you. Also look at leadership tips. This is an area of specialty and expertise. I work with leaders. I work in leadership development. So I want to share with you the lessons I've learned. And, one of those lessons is that leadership is a team sport. So we'll talk more about that in that playlist. Also want to share tips about how do you build effective organizations. That's an area of focus since working in big tech. So 5.5 years at Google and now a little over a year at Facebook. Also want to share tips from how do you help leadership teams and senior leadership teams, maybe even teams like the board of directors, to be more effective. Looking at tips also on relationships. How do you keep healthy relationships and minimize dysfunction in relationships? Looking also at how do you achieve self-mastery? How do you get to the state and stage where you know what you're worth intracellularly, and you know how to maintain your happiness and peace of mind regardless of all the things that life throws at us. And the final playlist will be one that focuses on something that's near and dear to my heart, and this is the topic of doing business in Africa. So I've been teaching an elective called Business Opportunities and Innovations in Africa in South Africa at the Gordon Institute of Business Science over the past 15, 16 years. And every year for 3 to 4 days, MBA students and I from South Africa, other parts of Africa, and increasingly other parts of the world go through conversations and discussions and case studies looking at how do you do business effectively in Africa. So I want to share and bring some of those tips to you. And this is a very dynamic area because Africa is a very dynamic continent. So you'll be getting very dynamic and up-to-date content, but also informed by 16 plus years of really thoughtful conversations about succeeding in Africa and case studies and sharing of those things. So that's what's planned for Tailored Tips. So thank you so much for joining my channel. I hope sincerely that you receive value from these tips and they help you to do things that you want and need to do. Thank you so much. See you soon.